in my home, we're kicking off the summer holiday stretch with Juneteenth. That's right. Juneteenth is the commemoration of June 19th, 1865. Long-ass time ago. The day enslaved African Americans in Galveston, Texas, learned they were free. See, Lincoln, he had issued the Emancipation Proclamation. Emancipation Proclamation for the Soons, Choco Briquette. He did the Emancipation Proclamation on January 1st, 1863. It only applied to the people in the Confederate States, not those enslaved in Union-held territories. They were not freed until the proclamation of the 13th Amendment. In Texas, a Confederate state, there were no large Union Army presence. Oh, there you go, a little Juneteenth. That's Juneteenth. Slavery continued for years after the Emancipation Proclamation, and even after the 13th Amendment was passed by Congress on January 31st, 1865. As many enslaved people in the state were not aware of the news. Whoops. Whoops-a-daisy. So, Major General Gordon Granger and the Union troops landed in Galveston, Texas, to tell the enslaved African Americans living there that they were the Civil War had ended and they were now free. According to the Texas State Hysterical Association, Granger stayed in Texas for 6 weeks following the announcement and encouraged newly emancipated Texans to sign labor agreements with former plantation owners while waiting on support from the Freedmen's Bureau. The year after emancipation, in 1866, formerly enslaved black Texans began celebrating events with annual Jubilee festivals. This commemoration is now known as Juneteenth. So a lot going on there. They didn't know they were free. And then when they were free, they just signed some agreements with the plantation owners and kind of stayed and worked and got like what? Money? Or did they get room and board in exchange for work? Which is pretty much what they were getting under under the slave thing, right? Am I right here? Couldn't a plantation owner at that point, even though slavery had been abolished, couldn't they just have offered the slaves like, here's a little house for you and the wife and kids and whatnot, and you will get meals and you'll get room and board for doing work in my field, which is exactly what they were getting like during slavery. I guess there were other things you couldn't buy and sell, maybe. So that was probably the kibosh was put on that. Maybe the beatings, maybe those they had to calm down on the beatings a little bit, and putting those things around their necks so they couldn't run away or eat dirt or something. I don't know. I'm not too educated on what happened during that time, but it sure sounds that way. Let's see. Let's see. June 2. How is it celebrated? Well, right here on the Anthony Cumia show on Compound Censored, we celebrate it with a bunch of, they say you should celebrate it by getting educated and looking into black culture and things. Hey, I got sheets and sheets of culture that we're going to go through today. Okay? Let's see. How is it celebrated? Early celebrations involved helping newly freed men with voting instructions. Today, traditions include rodeos, public readings, voter registration efforts, parades, community gatherings, street fairs, fishing, looting, shooting, all right, maybe not. Let's see here. There's the author. New York says the city of Buffalo has been celebrating Juneteenth since 1976. Look at that. Hey, look at that. You get on that, Bronco boy. See how you do. Look at that, huh? Some Juneteenth rodeos. Rodeo. Those are what they call the girls, rodeos. Maybe. I don't know. I doubt it. An activist group, the Build organization, I bet B is for black, organization launched Juneteenth in Buffalo, or maybe Buffalo. Buffalo United in, I don't know, is culturally relevant freedom celebration and alternative to the bicentennial. Oh, see? Like Kwanzaa is to Christmas. They needed Juneteenth because the bicentennial was a big America thing. And, you know, some people get a little annoyed. They're not part of the festivities. You ever see that when a little sibling on their older sibling's birthday? And they're like, but I want to blow out the candles. I want presents. Where's my cake? And you got to go, okay. And then you bring them out a little cupcake. You give them a little present. You know, not as big as the other thing, but they feel like they're involved. That's what Juneteenth was in Buffalo in 1976. Following the tradition of the original Texas celebrations, the Buffalo Festival has been an all-encompassing one, with thousands of attendees, dozens of vendors, book giveaways, underground railroad tours. Wait, I got claustrophobia. I don't want to go underground or something. Fuck yeah. An epic 3-hour parade, and much, much more, continues this person talking. But Juneteenth celebrations wouldn't be complete without food. Oh, yes. I like a good fried monkey and some rat. Oh, look at this. My cheerleaders. Bring on the cheerleaders. There you go. Well, they're not fat. We'll give them that. They're not big fatsos. A tradition that dates back to 1872, when black leaders in Texas raised money to purchase a plot of land to hold Juneteenth celebrations on. These leaders had to solidify special Juneteenth sites for many communities would not allow for celebration on public property. Juneteenth is typically celebrated with meals of red food and drink. Red food and drink, such as hibiscus tea, watermelon, strawberry shortcake, red beans and rice, and red velvet cake. What does that symbolize? Like, it's got to be blood, right? And strawberry soda to symbolize strength and courage. Where my soda, bitch? I'm strong and courageous. These specialties often appear alongside staples like collard greens, barbecue, and tea cakes. What about end cakes? What about, for America, African Americans especially, Juneteenth is a day of education, reflection. I got a mirror. It's a day of reflection. Cultural appreciation. I thought it said appropriation. And hope for true liberation, says St. Louis-based culinary researcher Robin Caldwell. Robin Caldwell. It's Caldwell, all right? But Juneteenth is much more than a celebration. Let's remember. Now, 150 years after the ratification of the 13th Amendment, the recent rising school book banning, it wasn't book banning, and anti-critical race theory rhetoric have once again sparked conversation about systemic anti-black racism, critical dialogue about long-standing racial disparities, and acknowledgement of the overall historical mistreatment of black Americans. So we gotta, it's all fun and games. It's all end cakes and strawberry soda until you start thinking, there you go. What's that? Sigma Delta Ditsun. Delta Epsilon Obese. Delta Epsilon Ozempic. African, I don't know. Given the far-reaching changes that have happened the past few years, Juneteenth celebrations are sure to resonate in new ways in 2025. Celebration is not without understanding how we got here. Carwell said, ways to commemorate. Maybe you want to, after the show today, after we celebrate and commemorate and masturbate, you might want to go out and celebrate with your loved ones. So here's a couple of ways, I guess, whether you plan to enjoy Juneteenth from the comfort of your own home or jail cell, venture out, or venture out. Here are a few family-friendly ideas for celebrating Juneteenth. Take the day to gather with loved ones and your community. Educate yourself. Watch Freedom on Juneteenth, an original theatrical production. There it is. Look at that. Original theatrical, production film by Karamu House, the oldest black theater company in the United States, or read books. Come on, now you're pushing it. About the history of Juneteenth with your kids, such as Juneteenth for Maisie, or Opal Lee and What It Means to Be Free. The true story of the grandmother of Juneteenth. Patronize a black-owned restaurant or business. So yeah, go to a corner, buy some weed or some crack. Dine in or order takeout from a restaurant or shop that sells black-owned brands. You might want to do that. Or attend an in-person or virtual events. Many museums, such as the Buffalo Soldier National Museum in Houston, offer special programs. So there you go. There you go. Buffalo Soldier. See, no one can accuse me of not educating the viewers on what Juneteenth is. I think now everyone watching has a great take on what Juneteenth is all about and how you can celebrate at home.